My dear, it's good to be very careful before they kill another person. Have already told my three sons and daughter to be very careful as well and not to associate with killers in brothers' clothes. Ebube, you are right. We need to stay away from them before they stain us. Are you indirectly talking to me, Madam Girls? Was I the one that said you should not give birth to male children? Neka asked. Eh? Look at this one, oh. So you still have mouth to talk without shame, eh? You are making mistake by calling them sons. Call them their real names. And what is their real names? Neka asked. Murderers. Hmm? Murderers, that is their real name. And of course, I'm proud to have two daughters, at least. They are not murderers like those things you called sons. Ako replied. My dear, it's good to be very careful before they kill another person. Have already told my three sons and daughter to be very careful as well and not to associate with killers in brothers' clothes. Ebube, you are right. We need to stay away from them before they stain us. Are you indirectly talking to me, Madam Girls? Was I the one that said you should not give birth to male children? Neka asked. Eh? Look at this one, oh. So you still have mouth to talk without shame, eh? You are making mistake by calling them sons. Call them their real names. And what is their real names? Neka asked. Murderers. Murderers, that is their real name. And of course, I'm proud to have two daughters, at least. They are not murderers like those things you called sons. Ako replied. You wench! How dare you, eh? How dare you? Hey! Hey! Boy! Nonsense. I will show you that I'm stronger than you in this house. You think you can come out and talk to me anyhow? Me, Neka, you want to talk to me anyhow? How dare you? Who are you? Who are you? So you want to kill her like your sons killed her husband? Are you not ashamed of yourself, Neka? Ebube asked. Call my name with some respect. What respect? What nonsense respect are you talking about? Did you respect her before fighting her? Or did your so-called sons thought of respect before killing their father? Don't talk about respect because you've lost all that respect the day your sons killed our husband. Mother of murderers. The earlier you accept and face the truth, the better for you. Nonsense. Ako added and went to her quarters with her girls. Meanwhile, Uche was still in the house and unable to go out because of the spiritual threat that the chief priest had used to lock the house, and that equally made him restless. Mama, come quickly, Ebere said out loud. Ebere was the only daughter of Ebube. At once, Ebube quickly ran to her daughter to know why she was calling out to her so loudly that afternoon. What is it, this girl? What is it? She asked, panting heavily. Mama, look. As she pointed out to a particular direction, and when her mother looked at that direction, she saw Uche talking to Mazi Uzondo. Mazi Uzondo was Ndubisi's elder brother, and he was also present during the birthday party. But no one saw him leaving after the party. Why is Uche talking to that yeye man through the window? And what could they be talking about? Ebube asked. Mama, I don't know. If you ask me, who will I ask? Ebere replied. Just as Ebube was about to leave, Ebere stopped her and told her to look further. And when she did, she saw Mazi Uzondo giving Uche something wrapped in a black cloth. "What is he giving to him now?" Ebere asked. "I don't know, my daughter, I don't know. Maybe it's food," Ebube said. "Food? But there is food in the kitchen. Enough food, Mama." Ebere added, "You are right. Maybe it's another food that we don't have in the kitchen. What else? Or maybe it's alcohol. You know your uncle Mazi Uzondo likes alcohol and he's very fond of Uche. And maybe after hearing all that is happening, he decided to bring some drinks for him in order not to make him feel lonely. But come to think of it, Mama, ever since Papa died, Mazi Uzondo did not pay us a visit, let alone mourning our father, his brother, with us. But when Papa was alive, he was always here almost every day," Ebere said. "My dear, I know all that, but I'm equally happy that he did not come. If not, he would have made matter worse for all of us. You know that. I don't need to tell you. If you say so, Mama, if you say so." "No problem. Who am I to judge? There is nothing to worry about," Ebere said and left with her mother. On the third day of them being spiritually locked in the house, they were all surprised to see the chief priest standing in the living room, for no one knew how he got in. Ezemo, hey, how did you get into the house? I thought you sealed the house with your spiritual thread, eh?" Ako asked. "Nama, all you know how to do is to ask stupid questions. Is he not the Ezemo? Why won't he come in? He's not a male mortal like you. So please keep your dumb head and useless questions to yourself," Nneka said. "Did you just call me Nama? Eh, Nneka? Nneka, did you just call me Nama? Are you mad?" Ako asked. "If you are not a Nama, then what are you?" "Shut up, all of you," the chief priest ordered them to keep quiet. Just as everyone was calm, the chief priest then told them that it was time for the spiritual test to know who actually killed Ndubisi. So soon, just like that, without letting us know before now?" Nneka asked. Oh. You wanted him to tell you, in advance so that you and your wicked sons would escape the test. You lie." "Nneka, I say you lie," Ebube said. "I did not say anything wrong. I only asked a question." "It's better to keep quiet than to ask stupid questions," Ebube replied. And they all left for the Udele shrine for the test, but before they left, the chief priest placed a leaf in their mouth. The leaf is locally and popularly known as Omu, and they were instructed not to speak till every test is being carried out. When they got to Udele shrine, Ndubisi's lifeless body was also at the shrine, and they were all surprised to see it at the shrine. The chief priest already knew that a lot of questions were going on in their minds, and then he told them that the last time he visited was the day he took the disease away and brought it to Udele shrines for protection. Why? Because the killers would try everything possible to get rid of the disease, and without the disease, the test would be incomplete. Just as the chief priest was still talking, Ebube, Ako, and their children were all staring at Nneka and her children like a lion that wants to devour its victim. But they were unable to speak as instructed by the chief priest, and anyone who dares to speak while the Omu was still in his or her mouth would run mad for 21 days. So the thought of running mad scared them all, and they kept their questions to themselves until after the test. They were all asked to stand before Udele, and just then the chief priest brought out the knives and placed them on the disease and did some incantations. Just after the incantations, the knives were lifted up spiritually, pointing directly to Ndubisi's family one after the other. When the knives got closer to Ebube and her children, the knife glowed. When it got to Ako and her children, the same thing happened, and then it was Nneka and her children's turn, and everyone was furious to see and know what would be their fate. And just then the knives glowed as well, and immediately Nneka screamed out loud, out of excitement, screaming, "My sons are innocent! I said it! My sons are innocent! I said it! Ago and Kano were innocent of the accusations." Just then, Nneka ran mad for talking while the omu was still in her mouth, and went out of instruction, out of joy. She was tied down at the shrine in order not to interrupt the test. Ako and Ebube looked at each other surprised, but kept quiet in order not to run mad like Nneka. It was time for the maids to undergo the test. Just like Ebube, Ako, and the rest, the knives glowed as well. Before the chief priest could do some incantations, Ndubisi's lifeless body and the knives emerged with force, and then blood started dripping from the knives, pointing directly to Uche. Again, everyone was shocked and surprised. Then the chief priest started talking in parables. He then did some incantations again, and the same thing happened. Something fell off from Uche's body. A charm wrapped in black pieces of clothes fell off from his body, and right then he began to scream, "Yes! Yes! I killed him! I killed my Oga Ndubisi! Yes, I killed him! And made it look like it was Ago and Kano that killed him. I took their weakness as an advantage for my own selfish interest. Yes! Yes! I killed my Oga Ndubisi! I killed him! Mazi Uzondo and I killed him. Yes, we killed him. I served him since my childhood, but he never cared about me. So I teamed up with Mazi Uzondo and killed him on that night of his birthday. Yes, we killed him. We both killed him. We killed my Oga Ndubisi. Yes, we killed him. We killed him. Yes, we killed him. I must confess. Yes, we killed him." What happened was that before the night of Ndubisi's birthday, Mazi Uzondo had come to ask him to give him some money. The money he demanded for was too much, and of course, because he spent all his money on drinks and women, Ndubisi refused to give him the money because he had given him huge amounts of money several times for his business, but he ended up spending it on drinks and women. Mazi Uzondo got angry and left. Just when he was leaving, he overheard Uche saying that he would kill his master Ndubisi for giving everything to his children who never knew how he started his life till that day. And just then, Mazi Uzondo sees it as an opportunity, and they both teamed up together and killed him on the night of his birthday. Before they killed him, they demanded for his land documents, of which Ndubisi refused to give them, and they ended up stabbing him. They stabbed him the first time for him to tell them where the documents are, but all efforts were in vain, and they covered his mouth and stabbed him many times for him not to leave and tell the story. After killing him, Mazi Uzondo left through the window that night, while Uche quickly washed his hands, locked the room, and left the house very early in the morning the next day to avoid suspicions. And that was why no one saw Mazi Uzondo leaving the house that day. He also said that before the test and after hearing that they would be taken to Udene Shrine for the test, Mazi Uzondo went to a far village to meet with a juju man who gave him the charm he gave to Uche the previous day. Just as instructed by the juju man, the charm should be wrapped with any black cloth that belongs to Ndubisi and hid it in his pocket before heading for the test. In that way, he would be free from Udene's wrath and judgment. Ebube remembered she and her daughter Ebere had seen Uche and Mazi talking and also gave him something wrapped in black clothes. Then everything began to make more sense to her. So the truth was right in front of us all this time, and we never saw it. So she said within her. After Uche had finished confessing all his evil deeds, he was struck by the spirit of madness by Udele for 7 days along with Mazi Uzondo, going from place to place telling everyone how they killed Ndubisi and died after 7 days. Nneka later regained her sanity after 21 days. Ebube, Ako, and their children apologized to Nneka and her children for judging them wrongly without knowing the truth. Ndubisi's property was later shared among the male children, for Ako and her daughters not to be left out because she only had 2 daughters. They gave her 2 plots of lands and they all lived happily ever after.